There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
They come from all over, the cures and the tools, the medicines and the machines, perfected, collected, and sent with all speed to the caretakers and the cared for, spanning miles, delivering hope. This is their flight, and we are their wings. They give of themselves, their minds, their hearts, their hands, their time and talent, armed with experience, humble with strength, dressing wounds and changing sheets and calming nerves and keeping watch. These are the angels, and we are their wings. They trade in tomorrows. Their gift is more time. They sacrifice years in exchange for more days, trade long nights of study for split-second grace. They bind and stitch and push and discover, leading the way out of pain. These are the pilots, and we are their wings. They engineer miracles, amplify care, manage the treatments and maintain supply. They stave off the outbreak with counsel and cure, bridge gaps between hospital, home, and health. This is their promise, and we are its wings. They trust in the system, the breakthroughs, the work. They put their heart and faith in our hands, all in the quest for better care, all in the hope for health. That is their prayer, and we are its wings.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with the LaSalle University Dasmarinas. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, ADP, MPT South, Kooapps, and Manulife ITDC. So before we start, maybe invite everybody for the singing, for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Let me be the change I want to see. To do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Grant me courage and humility. Fill me with spirit to face the challenge. It's all the change I long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be a spark in faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark. Service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Jesus in us. Jesus in
All right. So again, welcome everyone. So magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. So ready na ba kayo? I hope you all are. And by the way, my name is Joyce from Jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. And if you are here and ready to listen, ayan, you can kindly heart, ayan, or hit the heart react button para makita naman namin if active ang ating mga audience today. And of course, we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. And please do not hesitate to share this live to your friends para sama-sama tayong matuto ngayong umaga. Okay? So to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Sonia and Gimentiza, the Vice President of Linkages and External Affairs, to give us the opening remarks.
To all our STEAM partners, invited guests, faculty members, and to all our dear students, good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you all in this online career orientation to fulfill your aspiration by setting up your realistic goals. Our ARPA director initiated this online career orientation webinar for you to have a clear roadmap to fulfill your future dreams. An expert in career opportunities are invited depending on your interest and capability from a broader perspective to find a suitable solution for your needs. And they are coming from different companies. They will highlight the necessary information that will help you to prepare in the real world after your degree completion. As DLSUD graduates, we are pessimistic that you have all the innovativeness, creativity, and flexibility because this is how we prepared you as graduates. Let us maximize these opportunities and strengthen our capabilities as future leaders carrying all the Lasallian values. I am grateful to our external partners for the unwavering support and sharing of their experience and expertise to help you discover your potential, your future, and your next life journey. To end, let me quote Confucius, choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. Again, good morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sonia, and thank you so much po for gracing the event, and of course for trusting Jobs 180 to power your webinar for today's session. And of course, we would looking forward, no, na the students will learn a lot from today's session. Ayan. So maraming salamat po. And of course, to our audience, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. So the Q&A will happen after each speaker's presentation. Okay, so here's our schedule for today. So we have five topics for today's session. So first, we have job applications using ResumeLink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next is maximizing the best of both worlds, working in a hybrid setup by ADP Philippines. Next topic, third topic is leading without the title, strengthening leadership skills by MPT South. And um, fourth topic is the new age career possibilities by Kooapps. And last topic is the importance of savings, saving for the future by Manulife ITDC. So again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Again, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And as we go along, please type in your questions so we can read it later. Please, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay, so kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is job applications using ResumeLink, our first presenter has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So the managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Hey everyone, good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, and dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Di ba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Baka mukha lang akong salesman, pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com, and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay? So as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Now, okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo, no? Willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social-civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Example, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagay mo Tagalog, Sabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, diba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. Diba? If you know foreign languages, just put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese. Kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas, pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa siya lang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Etong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O ganun, di ba? So depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, di ba, na napag-aralan, di ba? So gusto mo magpakita ka na mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, di ba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Di ba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig, di ba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe, di ba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, wag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Wag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ko dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, o diba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O diba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kumpleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at doon ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off nilalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa ResumeLink, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to share your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng ResumeLink mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng ResumeLink mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public ResumeLink, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete information, and in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs.at.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? Okay, ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs.at.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs.at.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, and when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs.at.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file, diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung gano'n ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka-real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka, like to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O, di ba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So, kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, di ba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, di ba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So depende. So maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply in your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet? Kailangan ng pang-load. Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun? Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yan gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? O, 'di ba? Char lang yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much for that, Sir Kim, and good morning again. So good morning again to DLSU Dasma. So we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, so please kindly post your questions in the comment section. So please huwag kayong mahiyang magtanong. So Sir Kim, on July 7 and on July 21, merong job fair si DLSU Dasma. So do we have job fair reminders? Ano po yung mga dapat nilang i-prepare on the day?
So, unang-una, Ma'am Joyce, no, yung what they need to prepare for both job fairs yan. Both the virtual tsaka sa on-site na job fair. So, the virtual job fair is on July 7, tapos the on-site job fair is on July 21. They have to make sure that their resume links are ready. Kasi the companies who are joining, they are looking forward to Lasallians, no, using the resume link na para convenient. They don't have to bring back a lot of papers and etc. sa face to face, no, sa on-site. Sa virtual, definitely they have to have the resume link para mabilis. They just have to give it lang sa mga company and then they can submit. So yun. Reminder to all the shoutout ako sa lahat ng mga Lasallians dyan. make sure that you complete your information. Hindi lang basta gumawa, you have to complete your information. Okay? And you also check out the link that you're seeing here. Nagsuscroll siya sa screen ngayon. Kung nakita nyo yung sa screen, nakalagay dyan, schools.jobs180.com/DLSUD. When you go to that link, you will see there, meron pong registration doon sa upper right side portion. You can click on that. Tapos, you can create your resume link there. You can also check out companies that are in that page. No? So, pwede kayo mag-apply na doon ahead of time, di ba? You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until July 7 para lang mag-submit ng resume link nyo. Ngayon pa lang, pag gawa nyo ng resume link, submit na kayo. Di ba? You never know. Pag punta mo sa job fair, meron ka ng trabaho. O, di ba? Yan yun.
All right. Thanks, sir. Sir, may question, no? So, private message, talaga private message, ano? Pwede niyo naman i-add para makasa natin. So, they are asking po if they can still apply online even after the job fair po.
Yes, for sure, pwede pa rin. When you go to the job fair, ang maganda kasi sa both July 7 and July 21, yung on-site at yung virtual tsaka on-site, you get to meet them. Makakausap mo yung mga companies immediately. Kasi on the spot, may representative doon, virtual man yan or on-site, andun yung company representative. You can talk to them, you can basically ask questions or what you want to get to find out, you can ask them. Doon naman sa pagkatapos ng events na yon, both of those events, you can still submit, you can still apply, pero syempre yung response time, medyo hindi mo na makontrol, di ba? Kasi antayin mo kung kailan sila sasagot sa iyo eh. Pero pag nakita mo sila harap-harapan tsaka sa virtual, magharapan kayo sa Zoom natin, then mabilisan, di ba? They will definitely give an immediate response. Yan po.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, sir, one last question since we have more speakers back.
Oo nga, loaded tayo today, loaded. Dami nating speakers.
Yes. So, the question, sir, is how can we ensure that our online resume is accessible and easy to navigate for recruiters and hiring managers?
How can you make sure that it's accessible and easy to navigate?
For recruiters and hiring managers.
Okay. Well, unang-una, yung settings, unang-una dapat may laman yung resume link nyo. Yan ang pinaka-importante. You have to put all the contents there, all the relevant contents, even attachment, mga documents, lahat, no? Pati videos, lahat ng gusto mo pakita, lagay mo na dyan. Yun yung unang-una, kailangan may laman. Second, yung settings nyo, in your privacy settings, you have to make sure that they will be visible to hiring managers. Kasi nagbigay ka ng resume link tapos yung information mo kompleto, yun nga lang, yung settings mo nakalagay, hide this, hide that, hide everything. Wala rin makikita yung HR. Diba? So, I think logical lang na dapat yung information mo naka-visible din siya, no, to the hiring managers. Now, the other item there, yung para talagang very efficient tsaka very accessible is that on the online, you just give your resume link. Pagdating naman sa on-site, face-to-face, you can prepare resume link cards. Yun yung recommend ko, yung resume link cards para tipid na sa papel. You don't have to print so many one-pager. Daming one-pager niyan. Pag pumunta ka sa job fair, kung meron 30 companies or may 40 companies doon or 50 companies, edi ang dami mong kailangan gastusin, di ba? O na papel, na print out. So, you just have to use your resume link card. Now, kung wala tayong medyo budget sa pag-print, they just have to dictate it or write it down sa kanilang registration forms. Pwede na yun. Diba? And make sure lang you have it in your cell phone because when HR will ask for the job seeker, you have a resume, you can always show your phone. Diba? You can always show your phone. Kung gusto mo, bigay mo yung link sa kanila para sila na lang mag-access sa link mo. Yeah, pag hindi, bigay mo yung phone mo para makita nila. Pahiram mo lang pala. Pahiram mo yung phone. Huwag mo ibigay yung phone. Pahiram mo lang. Para makita nila. Yan.
Alright. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So I think that's it. No more questions from the audience as well from me. So your final message, sir, words po to DLSUD.
Okay. So as from a Lasallian to another Lasallian, so pare-pareho tayong mga green-blooded. Isa lang masasabi ko, no, always keep trying. As in keep trying lang. Wag iyaan mo lang, just keep applying. At the first company you apply to, if it works, edi good. If it doesn't work, there's another company for you. Diba? If it doesn't work for the second company, then apply for the third one. Diba? Ganun lang yan. That's why exhaust mo lahat ng mga possible options. No? Let's start by going to the online job fair, the virtual muna on July 7. Doon pa lang mag-start ka na, explore ka na. 'Di ba? Pagka nabitin, pag medyo hindi okay yung resulta, okay or hindi, punta ka pa rin sa on-site. 'Di ba? Because iba pa rin yung mas marami pang companies na makikita mo sa on-site. So you get to explore more. 'Di ba? Ayun. And then pag hindi pa rin nag-workout yung dalawang job fair na yun, of course the school will always be there to support you. Marami pa pong ibang avenue. Nandito po yung Jobs 180. You can check out the link again. You're seeing in there. Nagsuscroll sa screen ngayon. Go to schools.jobs180.com/DLSUD. Ayan, nakasulat dyan. 'Di ba? Yun po. Puntahan nyo lang and then you can start submitting your resume link to them. Okay? So I'll see you soon. See you soon dun sa online pati na rin po sa on-site. I'll see you there. Okay.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Kim. Ayan, so maraming salamat po. And
Thank
again,
you.
if you have questions for about Resume Link, you may visit our website. It's www.jobs180.com. Or you may email us at info@jobs180.com for more questions. Ayan. So moving on to our next topic. And so, which is maximizing the best of both worlds, working in a hybrid setup. So, our next presenter, Mr. Sherwin, has been with ADP Philippines for more than 8 years as an HR manager and HR business partner. So, Sir Sherwin's career for over 18 years includes talent acquisition, training, and leadership development, employee engagement, performance management, and succession planning, mostly in the knowledge process outsourcing or legal process outsourcing industry as well as BPO industry, and having worked for IBM Business Services, Baker, and McKinsey and Checkwell Solutions, he is most inclined towards employee labor relations, process improvement, talent development, and employee engagement. So the HR manager, HR business partner of ADP Philippines, Mr. Sherwin G. Marasigan. Hi, Sir Sherwin. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, boys. Nice to meet you again.
Hi. Yes. Ayan, sir. Ayan, magandang umaga po ulit. So, sir, your screen is up. So, if you're ready and leave it to it po, I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Sir Sherwin.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, good morning to everyone. So my name is Sherwin Marasigan. I'm one of the HR manager and HR business partner here in ADP Philippines. So I'm discussing to you a topic called maximizing the best of both worlds, working in a hybrid setup. So majority of the topics that I'll be discussing with you are based off of our experience as an organization here in ADP Philippines, as well as what we did during the, the pandemic period and how we maximize the potentials and also the opportunities that we experience during the pandemic. So these are just examples and as well as experiences that everyone had. So looking back 3 years ago, for those who remember, it was actually a very unexpected event that on March 2020, the country had to announce a lockdown due to a virus that spread throughout not only the country but also around the world. So there was a pandemic, and during that time, travel is actually not allowed. So everyone are highly encouraged to stay at home, and those who are only given passes are allowed to go out to do some errands, basic errands, to go to the market, buy some basic needs. And communication lines, specifically in any organization, there are challenges in terms of how we communicate because some organizations, some companies are not really ready for this kind of event. Some companies do not have laptops, they only have desktops. Some companies do not even have any means of communication. So it's going to be a very challenging for them to communicate with every individual in the organization. And organization readiness is also a big question mark 3 years ago because we don't know what we will do. How do we handle this? What will happen to our employees? How do we manage communication? And there was even a question of job security. As an employee, people would ask, do I still have a job? Given that a lot of organizations are closing down because they don't have means income coming in. And it becomes a question that, do I still have a job because of what's happening? And most importantly, the question of health and wellness because you're not allowed to go out. You're afraid to go out because of the virus, because there's the number of uh, incidences, a number of death that is being announced in the news. And the question of what now? What will happen now in this year of unexpected event? So moving forward, a year after, we as an organization was able to look at this as an opportunity for us to not only help our organization but also to experience it in a lighter way. So we made a flexible work arrangement. What do you mean by flexible work arrangement? During that time, it was a question of how do we provide support to our employees. They work at home. Some actually was stuck in the office because of the lockdown. How do we accommodate that? So we arrange a lot of accommodation, like our employees. We had them check in the nearest hotels in our area. At the same time, we provided equipments. We need to purchase a lot of equipment so that we can send these equipments to our employees at home so that they can work. And we become very much ready in terms of facing this kind of pandemic. And it helped us more in terms of communication and going back on-site accommodation. So those who were locked down, we had to make arrangement for their stay in the office. So they are we our office is located in Glorieta, so Glorieta Makati. So if you look at this area, there are a lot of hotels and that you can actually stay in. So what we did is we contacted all of these hotels and asked if they can accommodate X numbers of employees for a certain period of time until the announcement of lifting the lockdown in the city. So the challenge there now is they don't have any clothing, they don't have any food. So what we did as an organization is we provided that for them as well. And because they're of our readiness, communication line has become very easy for everyone because everyone's been provided with equipments. We have our shuttles who went to all of our employees' houses and delivered their equipments, their laptops, their computer, even those who doesn't have any internet connection. We provided that for them as well. So it become easier for us to really communicate and focus on what we can do. And information security is also a question during the pandemic period because in ADP we're very very strict with information. We do especially because we handle HR services, so information about our clients and all. So we encrypted all the devices so that uh, no information can be sent out without us knowing. And it becomes easier as well for us to monitor all our employees in terms of any activities that they're doing using our company equipment. And there was no actually question of job security. And I'm lucky to say that during the pandemic, we did not uh, stop the services at all. In fact, we actually increased in terms of services, and it was a very good opportunity for us to showcase the services that we provide because our services is more online and the tools that we're using are all systems that can be used at home as well. So a lot of companies have been contacting ADP Philippines, not only the ADP Philippines but around the world, uh, because the services that we use can be used at the comfort of their homes. So it becomes a benefit for us. So we actually somehow increased our profit during that time as well. And health and wellness has become uh, a lighter in term it's becomes lighter because we as an organization because of communication lines we encourage not only encourage informed our leaders to communicate any incidences that would relate to COVID. In fact, we created a tool wherein leaders would have to go through the tool and report any types of illnesses. So if an associate or an employee had COVID, they had to report it so that we can contact the associate or the employee and also provide support, medical support. At the same time, we provide basic package. So we send them vitamins, we give them drinks, basic food, and what have you, as well as a kit to help them with these illnesses. And then once we did this, we still look at how we can move forward given this new uh, setup in the organization. Yeah. So the next topic I'll talk about the difference between working on site versus working from home. Okay, so let's start with working from home. So the advantages. First and foremost, working at home provides a better work-life balance. Why? You can manage both your work at the same time you can focus on what you need to do at home. The challenge there is that, especially when I work at home, it's an experience that I had. There are unexpected distractions. Like my son does have his classes online, and sometimes would play around. And whenever I have a meeting or any conference that I had to attend to, and I need to be on camera, uh, the people would actually see him walking around. At the same time, there's a lot of distractions because of a lot of things that's happening at home. Another advantage is in terms of commuting, it becomes less stressful because of the traffic. But the challenge there is accessibility and security because at home you cannot easily contact anyone if you need help with regard to your laptop, if you need help with regard to equipment, what have you. And security in terms of information becomes at risk because you are exposed with a lot of people who doesn't know about your company or organization, and they get to see what you're doing at home. Location independence is also an advantage working from home because you can work anywhere in the country, even outside the country if you work at home. You just have to find a good location where there is a good reception in terms of internet connection, and then you can just work there. But the challenge there is the risk of productivity because if just imagine you working at a resort or at a beach, you will not be like we will lose focus in terms of working because your mindset is like saying I'm in vacation, but actually you're actually working. And then another advantage is improve inclusivity because again in the context of location independence, um, anyone anyone can be hired regardless of location. Uh, you can live in Mindanao while your office is in Makati. So it provides a lot of leeway in terms of your the company's profile in hiring your candidates. But the challenge there is less teamwork because you work at home alone, and communication with your team becomes uh, difficult. Unlike working at on site, you can easily tap them, ask them if you have questions or clarification. Where working at home, you need to wait for them to be online, or if they are not on do not disturb status. Another advantage is you save more money because of less travel. You don't need to bring extra money for your food in case you get hungry when you go to the office. But it also becomes a disadvantage because it's more expensive to set up your own workstation inside your houses. So you need to buy a suitable table, a desk for your office set up in at home. At the same time, you also have to look for like better audio equipment that will help you with your meetings because like if you are working at home you need to wear headset all the time because again the context of unexpected distractions, so also becomes very expensive as well. And going back to being more expensive, you also have to provide your own office supplies because you cannot go to the office. If you don't want to go to the office, you have to provide your own office supplies. You have to buy them using your own money. Another advantage of working at home is positive environment impact because you are surrounded with the people that you love. At the same time, you have more time to spend with your loved ones as well. But the challenge there is lack of good working environment because again, in the context that you can be distracted anytime, you can lose focus while working, and emergency cases it also can be a challenge as well. A customizable office is also an advantage while working at home because in the office, what you have there is that's it. While at home, you can even change your background. You can customize the whole room to make it more visually uh, good in terms of how you want like to look, especially when you're on cam. And you can also change all the settings inside the house or the office at home. And the challenge there is lack of office equipment and supplies. You have to provide your own equipment. You also have to buy your own office supplies. Unlike when you are in the office, you just have to ask admin for any office supplies that you need or would require. Working at home also increases productivity because you focus on your work at the same time. You get that feeling that you were able to accomplish things, both professional and of course personal. But unfortunately, working from home, the disadvantage is burnout because you you work in you work at the same time you focus at home in terms of the need of your family. Like for example, in my case, I'm working while looking out for my child while he's online, so studying. So it becomes a burnout for me also because I sometimes extend more hours of work compared to working on site. So let me now go walk you through the advantage or disadvantage of working on site or in the office. First, there's more opportunity to communicate because you can easily tap your teammate. Unlike working from home, you have to wait for them to be online. The challenge there is more distraction. Why? Because the context of vice versa, your team can easily go to you and ask you questions or what have you. And then advantage is working as a team because again in the on site you get the feel that everyone is there present. You can just talk to anyone, communicate to anyone, or just have simple small talks as well. Disadvantage because of this kind of exposure, team conflicts and accessibility happens. So unlike online, you can actually just turn off your camera and then make faces, but on site you have to manage team conflicts as well. Advantage, another advantage, output and productivity because you're focused at work. There's no distractions. There's no like you don't need to like for those who are working from home who manages both. They want to watch like for example, they want to watch Netflix while working. They can do that at home. While in the office, they just focus on what they're doing. They become more productive. On the hindsight, working on site becomes more stressful because of the demand that you need to finish everything exactly 6 or 8 hours of work. Another advantage of working on site is leadership support because you have in the context that you can actually tap your leader for any questions or support or any clarifications that you have regarding work. But the challenge is sometimes you feel that sometimes you are being micromanaged. Unlike working at home, you get to have flexibility. Working on site, information security is very secured compared to working uh, at home. It's also is a disadvantage. Why? Because again, people can actually go through your station and see what you're doing, and there are information that you're working on that are highly confidential. So it can also be a disadvantage. Time management is an advantage when working on site because you only do 8 hours of work. Unlike working from home, sometimes you extend. And then disadvantage would be encourages sedentary lifestyle because you want to finish your job, so you 8 hours a day you just sit and don't have any opportunity to just stand up because you want to finish everything on time. And then what's the setup? What's the benefit of working in a hybrid setup? Actually, it's a combination of the advantages of working on site as well as at home. Specifically, it increases autonomy because employees are able to have greater control over where, when, and how they want to work. It also encourages a better work-life balance and empowers employee to fit work around their lives rather than the other way around. Yeah. And it also lowers the level of stress and anxiety and greater satisfaction with their working arrangement and productivity. Working in a hybrid setup also increases engagement or employee engagement. Why? Because associate are given or employees are given higher flexibility that hybrid work offers, and they are given more autonomy in how they want to do their work as well. And then hybrid work offers work-life balance as employees are given more opportunity to connect to both their work and then personal life demands. And then lastly, working in a hybrid setup provides better productivity because hybrid work helps you focus on the output, the delivery, and the value there. So I'm actually now in my last slide. So in summary, um, depending on the type of organization that you would like to be part of, working on site may be something that you preferred versus working at home, or the other side, other way around, working from home is something that you preferred rather than working on site. But there are other organizations that provides hybrid setups, like us in ADP. But keep in mind that we live in a world that change is constant, and demand for people to go back to the office is something that we're now doing versus working at home. But it depends on you. You have to assess what type of organization you want to belong to, whether you want it on site, working from home, or hybrid setup. So before I end my session, let me just share with you, for those who are interested to apply in our company, ADP Philippines, just use the QR code or send your resume at bmore@adp.com or phjobs@adp.com, or simply go to jobs180.com/adp. So we are located in Makati, Glorieta 2. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Sherwin. So to our
Thank you.
audience, we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, and so please kindly post your questions in the comment section, and we'll try to answer your question. So while waiting for questions, Sir Sherwin, I'll be asking na po
Mhm.
muna. So first question
Thank you.
is, um, how can companies promote work-life balance and mental health among employees in a hybrid work environment?
For us in ADP, just to give you an example, we provide virtual engagement activities. So, pwede yun. You just have to log in and then join the group. Also, we encourage people rather to join different types of organization within the company. It depends on them with in terms of what they want to. Like we have mountaineering club, we have glee club, we have what sports and all. It all boils down on how the organization would want to engage. But more so, engagement is not all about activities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to say that ADP, we are very keen in connecting with our people all the time. So we have small kamustahan sessions with our individual groups. We even have one-on-one sessions with our employees as well. So the most important thing is to know how they are and kung kamusta sila there.
Which is a very good thing, big thing yung
Mhm.
kakamustahin ka lang, yan, ayan. So, ayan,
Exactly.
very, very nice, and so, thank you, sir, for answering that one. So another question, sir, is, how can companies, measure the success and effectiveness of a hybrid work setup po, especially in the Philippines?
sales. That's one. At the same time, the output of the company, you will see naman in terms of the standing of the organization. So there is this annual or quarterly report being sent by the leaders in terms of our sales, how many clients that we gained throughout this period. At the same time, how much did we increase in terms of income. So that's the output, and it all boils down to how your people or the team or the organization feels in terms of working for that company. So if they are motivated, highly motivated because of that kind of setup, then of course not automatically, it may increase sales or it may increase income or profit.
Mhm. All right, thank you, sir. So another question, sir, is in ADP po. So ayan, so how do you ensure the security of confidential information and data in a hybrid work environment? Ayan.
Actually, our company, to be proud, I'm very, very proud about our IT security. We've actually saved billions of money because of our IT security. So our equipments are encrypted. You are not allowed to access certain site. You cannot download. So everything is being monitored, whatever you do in your laptop. So even the chat messages tool that we use are also being monitored. The emails that we send out are also being monitored. And sometimes we are it prompts a security message that you are not allowed to send this kind of message as well. So we're very, very strict with security.
All right. So thank you so much, sir. So one last question is, do you think employees po on a hybrid work setup are more productive and satisfied compared with the traditional work setup?
Actually, it's a yes, but depends. Like for me, I experienced the 2 years of working at home, and I'm productive, yes, but I'm also stressed out because I have to look out for my child. I have to, you know, in terms of having their meetings and all, I have a lot of distraction at home, and also I have to set up a fund, a separate money savings for me to supply any office equipment. And because I have also a team that reports to me, it becomes difficult for me to communicate with them. So
Mhm.
it boils down on how or what is your preference in terms of work. Like for me, I'm more of right now. I've like for the whole month, I'm already working on site, even though it's not required. We are still in a hybrid setup. But for me, I'm more productive working on site. So you have to assess whether or not being on site, at home, or hybrid setup will work for you. Yeah.
Mas maraming distractions po pag
Sa
naka-out.
bahay. And
Yeah.
also, if you have to, parang you have to prepare for your lunch there, so nagluluto ka, at the same time, you are in a meeting. So how will you manage that? So, paghuhugas ka ng pinggan, at the same time, you're working on a report that deadline ngayon na. So, that has a lot of distractions at home. But
Ayan.
again, it depends. If you can manage that, then well and good. But if not, maybe an on-site setup would work for you or
Alright.
hybrid. Well,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for answering that one. So, depende po sa tao at saka sa ayan,
mm,
work setup. So, thank you so much,
yes.
sir, Sherwin. So, I think no more questions po. No questions from the audience and from me as well, since we still have three again speakers pa left po. Yeah. So, thank you so much, sir Sherwin. Sir, do you have final words po to our DLSU graduating students po?
So to my Colasalians, I'm also a graduate of De La Salle. Um, you have to assess the best opportunity for you, whether and also take that advantage of that, whether you want to work on site, at home, or hybrid. But take in mind that you also have to be very flexible because change is constant. We don't know, like a year from now, kung hybrid pa rin tayo or everyone are already required to work on site. So you have to have that kind of mindset of flexibility and adaptability. That change is really constant. And I believe that's actually a very good character that a Lasallian has, being able to adapt to any changing environment. Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you
So
very
thank
much,
you
Joyce.
so much, Sir Sherwin. Maraming salamat po. Ayan. So,
Thank you.
thank you, sir, for sharing your time, your experience with us today. And of course, we look forward to having again you in future
Of
events.
course.
So much, Sir Sherwin. All right.
Thank
So
you.
to know more about ADP, may visit www.thechops180.com/ADP. And reminder po to secure attendance and digital certificate. Later we'll be releasing the evaluation link by the end of this session. So again, to secure your attendance and your digital certificates, we will be releasing the evaluation link, which you have to fill out the form po before Miss Meg gave you po the digital certificates. Ayan. So moving on to our next topic, which is leading without the title, strengthening leadership skills. So our next presenter has more than 21 years of work experience in human resources, covering all functions and managing the entire employee life cycle as process owner, as a subject matter expert, and as an HR head with a bachelor's degree in EB Behavioral Science and master's degree in Industrial Organizational Psychology. Also, she has a certificate in fundamentals of organization development, HR planning, and acquisition. So, a certified target selection interviewer, learning and development professional, compensation and benefits professional, yellow belt Lean Six Sigma, and a trained green belt Lean Six Sigma. She also passed the basic non-life insurance course. So that's a senior manager, HR business partner lead from Metro Pacific Tollways South, MPT South, Miss Jennifer Cornelio. Hi, Miss Jen. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Morning.
Hi, ma'am. Ayan. So, ma'am, your screen's up. So,
All right,
Elevate
great.
will ask you back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Jen.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'll just connect it with what Sherwin mentioned a while ago. So, change is really important, and our topic today is very relevant in terms of having something constant regardless of the changes. So, this topic is actually more on the leadership skills. So, again, no matter what position you have, leadership skills are valuable. And during the span of your career, you will not always have the title, but if you learn and acquire these critical skills, this will give you your leadership career the jumpstart that it needs. Yeah. All right. So feel free to ask questions later on. So a while ago, there was a little bit of introduction about me, but I would like to focus on where I belong right now. So I belong under the Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation. It's one of the companies of MVP Group, and they are the they're in the toll road business. So I belong in the South. So we have different organizations under the Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation. So we have the most famous, the NLEX Corporation. So they are the ones handling the North. So they take care of the North, the SCTEX, the NLEX Connector, and also the NLEX Warriors. I belong in the South. So the South, we take care of anything, the toll road business within the South. So we cover the Calax, we also cover Cavitex, all the way until the C5 and C5 South Link. There is a Visayas and Mindanao region, so they take care. They have now the toll road, the project under the CCLEX. This is the bridge in Cebu Cordova Expressway. We also have the MPT Asia covering the Vietnam and Indonesia as well. Now, these are the four business units are actually toll road related businesses, but we also have the non-expressway business. So we have the mobility. This is something to do with the app. You will probably know one of their organizations. There's an Easy Trip. They also now there's a MPT Drive Hub. There's a Drive and Dine. There's a Dibs. There's a One Hub and also the Spot On and also the Savvis. We also have our own technology company under MPTC Group. We call them MPT Digital Incorporated. So we cover different locations all the way from the north as far as Bulacan, and also in the south we cover until all the way until Santa Rosa, Laguna, Visayas, definitely in Cebu. MPT Mobility's office is at different locations, but their main office is in SM North EDSA. MPT Digital, their main office is in Pasig, while they are utilizing all business locations. So we also have MPT Digital employees here in the South. If you live here, if you live nearby the South, area, so you can have your office here. So it's a very big organization, and I'm very proud that I'm actually here in MPTC. So about me, so why I'm in HR. So my interests, actually, if you notice, they're really not in HR. They're in technology. I value creativity, innovation, and numbers. Now, outside work, I am into fitness, running, and also a little bit off. So I'm into the fashion. So I enroll courses as well in fashion. So that's actually me. And why is it important, and why is it relevant in the topic for now? So again, the main topic is leadership without title. So how do you make a difference regardless of your position? So I understand most of you are graduating or have just recently graduated, or probably in their 2 or 3 year work experience. So how do you do that? How do you make a difference regardless of your position? So this is a quick and brief guidelines. I don't own this. Most of the leaders that you will probably work with will definitely share with you the same principles and the same framework, that what would make you stand out in the corporate or in the business world. Okay, the first is to cultivate a great mindset. So what is this? It actually means being just positive no matter what happens. So in the workplace, there's no perfect world. There will be interruptions, business interruptions, a lot of changes, and if you're able to show enthusiasm and positivity no matter what the situation is, you will actually be a positive drive, a good energy, and people will actually notice that in different scenarios. They would want to be with you, they will want to work with you. They actually will gravitate towards you because you seem to lighten up the mood, lighten up the situation, or convert the situation into something positive. This can actually mean also that you look into the situation or the current situation and look at it as a good opportunity and turn it into positive. So that is actually what cultivating a great mindset means. The next slide is the number two. These are actually two of the six tips would be consistently be supportive. So, when you're a friend, eto yon. So the people who are supportive, adding value, and always looking to serve others, those are the leaders who are indispensable. So these are the ones who are very helpful, will actually lend you an extra hand. These are actually one of my favorite traits in any people that I've worked with, or any HR person that I've worked with. Again, this is actually not learned in school. It's actually a trait. So this is actually something beyond the malasakit. Ito yung mga sometimes they will term it as malasakit, very helpful, very supportive. The ones who like to volunteer, who will actually go the extra mile. So these are actually classified as being supportive. So if you are able to develop or have this reflection of who you really are, then people will always want to be, always actually include you in their team. So these are the type of people that you would like to work with. Imagine if you are already working and you would want others to help you as well, or take a look at it to a different perspective. This actually can actually be supportive as well. So it's actually one of my top traits that I'm looking for in any people that I work with. So, and then if you connect it with the next slide, it's actually learning to be flexible. So what is this? Sherwin mentioned a while ago that um, because of the changes that are happening simultaneously in the environment right now, you have to be as flexible as you can. So what does it mean if you're starting in your career, or have already started in your career? It means that you're able to bounce and shift from one environment to another without changing your attitude or your behavior. Let's say, for example, a project has been put into stop, or there are sudden changes, abrupt changes that have happened in the organization. You are the ones that they can transfer from one project to another, one role to another. You can actually shift your mindset. So those are examples of how you can be flexible. Can you learn it? Because it says here that learning to be flexible. Can you learn it? Actually, you can. You just have to be brave and courageous in challenging yourself to move out of your comfort zone. So, if you are the type of person who a perfectionist, or you would want everything to be planned out, you really have to work on this, on being flexible, because most of the time the things that you planned out will actually not happen because of other many things that are happening simultaneously in the organization. So this is actually a great impression. So there's agility is you probably you will hear this in the organizations nowadays after the pandemics. Being agile, it means moving from one role to another role, one project to another project, but you still have that drive. Nothing will change if you are the you have the great mindset, if you are helpful and loves to volunteer, then whatever project you're in, whether you are moved from today and then the next day, then nothing will change in your behavior. So that's actually one of the examples of being flexible. Next is let people know they can count on you. So, what is this? So, it's actually being credible, reliable, and if you're able to cultivate it or leave an impression that they can always count on you, you will always be one of their top lists of people that they want to work with, especially if you're working with executives or managers or big organizations. This is actually very important. um, so the first time that they ask you to do something, then make sure that you do your best so that they will always remember you and they will always want you in their team. And aside from having that respect and other things, but some there's someone that they can always count on. So most of the time, they will assign work that are not related to your job or roles that are not related to your accountabilities and all. But what's important is you practice being accountable, being credible, and earning the trust, because especially in executives, trust is very important and it's a very impressive reputation. So if you're able to build that and start that during your career, all the way until where you are right now, they will not forget about you. Wherever they go and wherever you go, you will leave that impression. So, Sherwin mentioned uh, about earlier about checking in, asking, doing background checks and all, uh, reference check and all the resumes and stuff. So it's actually uh, one of the one of the references, one of the things that you can build on your credibility, especially when you do the resume and application process in your career. Be the creative one. So, is everyone creative? What if they will say, no, I'm not that one creative. I'm not very good into arts. But creativity is beyond that. It actually means very simple. It actually means on looking into things differently, doing things efficiently, doing it smart. And if there are things that you can simplify on your own, whether you are good in technology, whether you are good in innovation, or wherever you're good at, you always look at things. Definitely everything can be improved, anything can be tweaked, and when you place it in your the customer on the front, or in the you practice your customer focus or customer service or customer improvement, then definitely this will be easier for you. So this actually mean continuous improvement, making things easier, making things faster. In this agile environment, you would want a simple process, a faster process, but the same results. So this is actually what creativity means. Lastly, is to give credit where credit is due. So normally when you work in a team and there are people who really work with you or collaborated with you, then acknowledge their contribution and be grateful for their help, be grateful for their contribution, and this is actually giving credit where credit is due. So you shine the light. So you share it actually. It's sharing. And people will love you more. People will like you more. And leaders will actually gravitate towards working with you because, when ang term nito sa workplace is credit grabber. Yan. So credit grabber yung opposite nito sa workplace. So that's not the way to work with people, especially in the workplace because you're dealing with different kinds of people. Hindi lang naman taga DLSU DASMA yon. So others pa yon. So different backgrounds, different experiences, very unique and everybody is unique. So important talaga yung appreciation and being grateful for everyone's contribution. Just like what Mr. Robin Sharma, the author of The Leader Who Had No Title, he said that leadership is not about a title or a designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration. Impact involves getting results. Influence is about spreading the passion you have for your work, and you have to inspire your teammates and customers. So in this specific, in this lines of quotes, 'di ba? Walang sinasabi kung vice president ka or leader ka or president ka. It does not even indicate that it's if you have the title, then you can be a leader. For me, anyone can exhibit leadership qualities. You may or you may not be a leader just because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a leader because you're managing people. There are really good leaders who can work with themselves alone, no one. Others naman, they're very good in working with people, managing people, but still, they are leaders in their organization. To end this topic is actually if you start cultivating your leadership skills, moving up will be much easier. It becomes easier for others to see you as a leader no matter what your position is. So I hope um, I'm able to inspire and provide insights and for you to also to reflect if you have these skills. My parting message would be if you have the strengths, make a checklist of all your strengths, of all the things that people describe you with. So adjectives, you list them down. And then on the other side of the column, list mo naman doon yung mga weaknesses mo. Yeah. So these weaknesses, you hone them while your strengths or the positive things that people say about you, you harness them, make them useful in the organization. You volunteer in situations wherein you can highlight those strengths. At the same time, also be highlighting as well the not the your weaknesses. You can actually develop them in situations wherein you are not most comfortable with. So that's you balance it. So at the same time, over the years, if you're able to harness or you're able to strengthen these strengths and convert your weaknesses into strengths, that's actually a process improvement, a cultivating mindset, and all the rest of the leadership qualities that I've mentioned earlier. Good morning.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Jen. So again, the topic is leading without a title. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, if you have questions for Miss Jen, again, so kindly post your questions in the comment section. So while waiting for the questions from DLSU, Miss Jen, I'll be asking na po muna.
Sure.
The first question is how can you communicate your ideas effectively when you don't have the authority to make decisions?
It depends on the situation and environment. So, uh, if you're in a meeting, it depends whether it's a formal or informal meeting. So, there are organizations. I believe in diversity and inclusion. So,
Mhm.
more perspective, more opinions, more insights. That's actually the better approach to actually be. So, if you are fortunate to have the type of management or leadership in your organization wherein they value your voice, they value your opinion, take grab that opportunity and voice out your opinion. So, it's don't be scared. Don't be scared because nowadays the younger ones will actually prefer to keep quiet and to keep silent. But I am a believer of diversity. We see
Mhm.
things differently. So I would value your input, whether it's wrong, whether it's right, whether it's appropriate or not. So my tip would be just to choose the appropriate environment because there are meetings wherein their tone is very formal. There are also meetings wherein there are informal tone naman. So you just balance it. If it's a formal one wherein it's a different tone, then you can approach after the meeting as long
Mhm.
as you still communicate your insights and thoughts. The other one would be if it's an informal, then just voice it out. So don't be afraid. But when you give your feedback, most of the time, you should be ready on how people will receive it and what will they tell you when they receive it. So for me, it's just feedback. So whether it's positive or negative, if they said that they will not accept your opinion or for now it's something that you have to park, then be also prepared that for that feedback. So again, it's feedback whether it's correct, it's right or wrong, it's still feedback. So managing also your how you receive your feedback is a indirect communication.
And also, ma'am, how can we, 'di ba po, provide constructive, ayun nga, sabi niyo nga po, feedback or other suggestions po for improvement without being tagged as pabibo, 'di ba? Whether na pabibo,
Ay, mga
pa-Jollibee,
pamilya.
may mga
Mm.
ganyan term, whether we like it or not, may mga naririnig tayong ganyan. Especially if wala ka naman sa position, ayan, wala ka sa management position. So,
If I'm gonna connect it with the leadership, with the
mhm,
leadership, with this specific topic. So see, it depends on the environment kasi. So,
mhm,
you better ensure that if you're gonna talk, then sound something smart, 'di ba? Say something smart, not just
mhm.
agreeing, etc. You can agree or disagree. So let's say, for example, there's somebody's presenting, etc., etc., and you would want to agree. You can say you agree, and then you agree with all the insights and stuff, and that you appreciate that this is something new to you, and so you just voice whatever it is that you need to voice, but be prepared and ensure that you say something smart, especially in if you're connecting it with the leadership mindset or leadership skill. So, wag ka matakot. Sometimes kasi the environment is nakakatakot, but there are leaders kasi who are appreciative of employees, whether you are young or whether you are experienced. But if it's a brainstorming, if it's an innovative or one of their culture in the organization would be innovation and creativity. So check out the company culture in the website. So if they have that and they have that, then they will value your opinion. In MPTC, they changed it. So they place innovation now in they updated their corporate values and added innovation. So that means when you are in a meeting, whatever your opinion is or insights or things that you would want to improve, it's okay. You can voice it out in any type of meeting, whether it's formal or informal.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, one last question po is, what are some ways to earn respect from your colleagues and be seen as a leader, even yun nga po, you're not in a management position.
There are things that, ako mga favorite sa akin, favorite ko yung being credible and being reliable. When I give you something to do, alam ko hindi ko na ulitin, alam ko hindi ko na i-check. I know that I don't need to supervise you and ask questions on where it is. So there is a reliability. Some would term it as accountable eh. I call it peace of mind. So I call it peace of mind. So when I give it to you, it means that I'm trusting that job, that task, and then I'm going to give it to you because that's my role as a leader to give you an opportunity to improve. And that's also my role as a manager to also provide an opportunity for you to also develop your leadership skills. So when a task has been given to you and it's not probably it's outside your job or within the scope of your work, it's actually a trust issue. So I'm handing something to you. Um, to test if I could trust you and if I could work with you the next time. So it's actually very important in credibility and reliability.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Jen. So thank you for answering all our questions. So your final message, final words po to our DLSU graduating students po.
My final message would be not be afraid, not be afraid to speak up, and our the perspective of the younger generation is really important because they work faster, they are digitally native, and in the workplace there are different types of people, so those are the skills that you have that others don't have, so present it to them. It will definitely contribute into the dynamics of the team, but that's how workplace is. It's a diversity.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Jen. Thank you so much po for sharing your
Yeah.
time and expertise with our audience. So we hope we have you on our next set of webinars. Well, thank
All
you so much,
right,
Miss Jen.
great. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jen. So moving on to our next topic. And so which is new age career possibilities. So our next presenter is a graduate of BA broadcast communication from University of the Philippines Diliman, Miss Samsara Louise Pagaduan, the senior marketing lead of Kooapps. Hi, Miss Sam. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning,
Hi,
Miss
ma'am.
Joyce, and then good morning to all the students.
All right. Ma'am, your screen is up, so if you're ready and leave it to it, I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Sam.
All right, thank you. Okay, so again, good morning to all the Lasallians currently watching this live stream. So again, my name is Sam. I'm from Kooapps, and today I'll be discussing about new age career possibilities. So what are they and why are they important? So this is a topic that's quite dear to me, no, as someone who is working in the game development industry. So basically, I myself am working on a new age industry, so I would like to share what I learned about these careers. Okay, so first of all, what are new age careers? So new age careers, not to put it simply, so these are jobs emerging in the recent world, and these jobs are currently shaping the landscape of the workforce. So some people they say, you know, that new age careers are jobs that emerged in the 20s, so meaning from 2000 up to now. And there are different key drivers of business transformations. So these new age careers, these emerged because of the following. So first is new technologies. So meaning there are new technologies that have to be worked on. So we need more people working on that. And also changing market trends. So we have to adapt to these, and there needs to be people working on this. And lastly is evolving societal needs. No? So we try to be more sophisticated. So we need people to work on these new age careers. The next, no, most new age careers boomed because of the pandemic, and then it ended up and emerged as full-time jobs. Okay, so why should I apply for these kinds of jobs? No, why should I apply for new age careers? So first is anyone can be a pioneer. No, since it's just new, basically there's a lot of demand, and with that there's also a big room for career and financial growth, especially if it's just a budding industry. Now, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to actually work on, and then you can actually be one of the people who's working on it for the first time. And it can also match anyone's ability and passion. No? If it happens na yung mga careers, these new careers end up to be something that you're really interested in, no? Then you should actually apply for these jobs. Okay, so I'll be giving some examples of new age jobs. So first we have a data scientists. So what do data scientists do? No? They are involved in data collection, data analysis, and visualization. They work with large amounts of data, they interpret trends, and they understand risks. And they make data-driven solutions for businesses. So if you're interested to be a data scientist, you know, what skills do you need to have? So you need to have a combined knowledge of
computer science, statistics, and mathematics, and you also have to be highly organized. Okay, so why are data scientists important in the recent world? So
Actually, data scientists, every time we use an app or a website, these apps or websites try to get a bit of information from us. No? So that is the reason why we have this joke, that every time, like for example, if we search for a certain item, um, after a while, the products or the ads that end up on your timelines or Facebook timelines are the same thing over and over again. So, if you search for food, no, yung mga ads na lalabas, puro pagkain after that. No? And it's because um, algorithm tracks our data, and after that, the data scientists process it so that we can make certain decisions on our businesses. Like for example, no, in game development, of course, now if you play a game, you play certain levels. Some levels are easy, some levels are difficult. And once we have the data or the user data of our players, we figure out which levels are quite hard for them or which levels are difficult and which levels are easy. So if we think that some of the players end up playing after, let's say, level 20, so yun yung data na na-process namin. No? So we have to think about it. Is this a level that we need to remove, or is this a level that we need to polish, or is this a level that we need to make a bit easier? So from that data, so we have a better understanding of what our users can do, what our users like, and etc. Okay, and in fact, each day, no, let's talk about Google. So Google processes around 2.5 exabytes of data. So 2.5 exabytes is around 2.5 billion gigabytes of data. So that and Facebook has around 300 petabytes or about 2 million gigabytes of user data. So imagine, no, if you're a data scientist, you have this much of data available, and then of course there's a lot to process. And inaccurate data can actually cause losses in businesses. So again, it's very important to get to know our users better. So if you think that you're interested about data, knowing more about people, and also you can do statistics and mathematics and make decisions based on the data presented to you, then of course this is a good job opportunity. Okay, next one, we have cybersecurity analysts. So what do? They monitor, prevent, and stop cyber attacks by protecting the network and the IT infrastructure. They develop cyber defense tools, and they keep track of new and known threats and other emerging technologies. So, what are the skills needed? So, first, you need to be well versed in computer systems and networks, and you need to have solid methodical and problem solving skills. So, dapat you can work on problems right away because you were talking about cybersecurity, and I think Sir Sherwin um, mentioned this in during his talk, no, that they actually saved billions in IT security. So thanks to cybersecurity analysts. So it's very important to make sure that the data and the information that you have on your website or in the workplace is secured. So in fact, no, the Philippines, okay, so we're ranked second among countries that saw the most cyber attacks worldwide last year. And around 3,000 government agencies and companies were included in those cyber attacks. So of course, no, it's given that data alone, it's really very important to have a strong cybersecurity. Okay, so if you're interested in problem solving, knowing more about the internet, computer systems, and networks, so this might be a job for you. Next, we have UI and UX designers. By UI, we mean user interface. By UX, we mean user experience. So what do they do? So they build simple and easy digital experience on websites and apps. So they refine images, fonts, typography, and layouts using graphic design software. And they combine aspects of psychology, business, market research, design, and technology. So, what are the skills needed if ever you're interested in becoming a UI or UX designer? So, you need to have knowledge in the end to end developmental and design process of digital products. You need to be updated in latest UI and UX design trends and best practices. And you can follow art standardization and maintain brand consistency. Okay, so why are UI and UX designers important? So I think every one of us, no, at one point, we've tried checking out products on a website or on Shopee, Lazada. So of course, we get irritated if we cannot find the checkout button. So yun yung trabaho ng UI and UX designers. So they have to make sure that the process, no, it's smooth and seamless. Kasi if we cannot find the checkout button, of course, no, for the website, it's a bad thing because no sales. No, if people cannot buy because of the website, then of course, walang papasok na sales. So if you have a good UI and UX designer, no, so if people can use the website or the app well and easily or user friendly, kumbaga, yung website or yung app, then of course it would bring in more revenue for you. Okay, so that is the job of UI and UX designers. Next one, we have mobile game and mobile app developers. So what do they do? So design, code, and implement game mechanics, features, and systems. They create immersive and bug-free gaming experience for players, and they try to optimize game performance. So what are the skills needed? You need to have background in different programming languages, and you need to have passion in gaming and player preferences. So kung gamer ka, no, and you have background in programming, so it might be a good job opportunity for you. And actually, there are more universities and colleges in the Philippines offering game development courses or other relevant courses, and it's becoming a more solid profession in the Philippines. So here in Kooapps, we're actually hiring for mobile game and mobile app developers. So yung isingit lang din. But yeah, if you want to know more, or if you want to design and code games, or if you want to optimize game performance, like making sure the file size is small, okay, so you can actually apply for this kind of job. Next one, we have digital marketing specialists. So what do they do? No, there are actually different career paths. Like there's a lot of things you can do. No, if you say you're a digital marketing specialist, you can do ads and acquisition. No, so user acquisition, gaining more sales, getting more users, getting more buyers, running ads, running ad campaigns on different platforms. So that's what they do. You can do SEO, learning about keywords, search engine optimization, how to rank websites on Google. You can do also e-commerce, no, like sales websites, social media management, and of course community management. No, working on the community. So it either requires creative, analytical, or intrapersonal skill. Depende sa kung anong gusto niyong career path. No? Kasi if you do ads and acquisition, you probably need more analytical skill. SEO probably more analytical skill, but you also need a bit of creative, especially if you do writing. Social media management, no, a bit of both, also analytical and creative, since you also need to create copy. For community management, you need to have intrapersonal skill because you need to talk, you need to be friendly, and you need to deal with the community. So of course, kailangan approachable ka. So, but there is a common goal, no, which is online sales and leads, increase reach, engagement, or ranking. So, what are the skills needed? Knowledge in the end-to-end developmental and design process of digital products, updated in the latest. Updated in also, no, you also need to do a little bit of design, and also for digital marketing, no, you need to also maintain brand consistency, especially if you're working for a company. Okay, next one. For content creators, okay, so what do they do? No, there are also different career paths. No, and I think this is something that's very interesting because it's really new. No, you can do UGC creator or user generated content creator. You can do vlogging, streaming, and influencer. Okay, so basically, if you're a UGC creator or if you're a content creator, you can specialize in paid content that are organic looking, or you can also do content monetization. So you can earn money from the content that you make. No? So you can run ads, or minsan no, sa Facebook you have stars. No? And of course, there are also fans that share um, donations uh, on your website or on your videos. For paid content, no, sometimes brands actually tap content creators to make videos or content for them. So, and there are also different content niche, no? So you can focus on travel, beauty, fashion, food, and tech. And this is very important, no? Given that internet users worldwide spend around 399.5 minutes every day. So that's almost 7 hours. And you can actually target people using content creators even when they're at home, no? As long as they're using the internet. You can actually tap content creators to market your brand. So, what are the requirements? So, first, you need to grow followers, reach, and engagement to be successful. So, medyo mahirap lang siya sa simula. Kasi, of course, no, it's not something that you just apply on. No, hindi katulad ng ibang trabaho na, I have the skills, so I'll just apply. Meron kailangan mag-invest ka rin because you need to have followers. And you also need to be highly creative, sensitive to trends, and you need to think out of the box. And you need to also invest on equipment, especially if you're into streaming or vlogging, because you need to have a good PC, you need to have a good camera. So, kailangan ding may investment sa equipment. So, speaking on the followers, no, I think right now, yung top influencer here in the Philippines has about 16 million followers on YouTube. So that's Ivana Alawi, and then followed by Niana Guerrero. So if you want to be that successful, so you really need to have that amount of following. But of course, no, there are UGC companies or entertainment companies based here in the Philippines, so they somehow help with the marketing push. But of course, no, if you're just starting out on this career, it might be quite difficult given that there's a lot of people trying to be content creators already. Okay, so next one, there's also a need in or a rise of services. Okay, so these are virtual assistants, event managers, no, yung mga nagpa-plan out ng mga weddings or events, wellness coaches, financial coaches, fitness coaches, talent acquisition consultants. So these are all services that are currently rising. So it's also, if you're interested also in any of these, no, so you might also want to try it out, no, and start your career on those paths. Okay, next. So the question now, no, so probably, no, you're quite interested in some of the jobs that I mentioned. So the next question is, no, I think some of you are graduating, but what if, no, yung course na tinatake nyo is not really in line with the jobs that I mentioned? So should I change careers? So there are questions that you need to ask yourself. The first is, do you have the determination to upskill, adapt, and learn? So this is very important, no? Especially if you're from a different course, kasi you need to study again, you need to learn again, and you have to adapt and learn the ropes of the industry. Next, is this a career I'm passionate about? So, and that's also in line with the third question, no? Is this something you see yourself doing for a long time? So what if it's just something that you want to try out, pero baka naman after a few months or a few years, ayaw mo na ulit, di ba? So you have to also consider na, gusto ko ba talaga itong gawin? Remember, no, even though it looks fun on the outside, of course, hindi mawawala yung career challenges, no? Like for example, if you're into streaming, like baka as a hobby, it's good. But if you do it as a career or as your bread and butter, maybe you have to reconsider, no? Next, do I want a career change or just a new job? So baka you just need a change of environment. So you have to also think about it. And lastly, sorry for the double number four, no? Do I understand what is involved in switching to a new career? So do you have the safety net? No, do you have a security to jump ship, no? Especially if you're going to start again, no, from the beginning. Oh, so you have to really consider the different factors involved in your career change. But of course, no, it is not bad to change careers. So actually, I highly encourage you, no, if your passion is really something else, then I'd say go for it. Because if it's something that you're going to work on for a long time, it's actually very important that you're highly committed and passionate about the job. Okay, so lastly, no, I'd like to share this quote to all of you. No, this is from Steve Jobs, so the founder of Apple. So this is from his Stanford commencement address in 2005. So the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Like I said, no, if you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. So sabi nga ni Sir Kim kanina, no, maraming trabaho dyan, no. If the first one doesn't work for you, there's a second one. If the second one didn't work for you, there's a third one. So do not settle and just keep looking. So, lastly, before I end my talk, no, so I would like to discuss a bit about Kooapps. No, if you're interested in entering a new age industry, so we are an indie game development company, and we have over 400 million downloads across our portfolio of games, with notable titles such as Snake.io, Stacky Bird, and Pictoword. So this is our mascot, Koo Chan. Okay, and these are the different careers or job posts that we have. So we have mobile game, app, and web programmer. We have data analyst, QA engineer, customer support representative, digital content creator, streamer. We also have digital marketing specialists, 3D artist, UI UX artist, multimedia artist, and human resources assistant or HR assistant. So if you're interested, you can apply to our Jobs 180 profile. It's jobs180.com/Kooapps.ph. And if you want to learn more about us, no, so you can follow us on Facebook at Kooapps Philippines and on Twitter at Kooapps. So, ayun. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you learned something from what I imparted today.
Thank you so much, Miss Sam. So thank you for discussing that one. So to our audience, we are now again opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, so please kindly post your questions in the comment section. And so we only have two speakers left. So wag po kayong maya magtanong. This is your chance to ask. And so sayang naman the opportunity to ask the experts po, no? And so before you graduate. Yeah. And while waiting for questions, Miss, I'll be asking na po muna. So first question is, how can individuals leverage their existing skills and experience to thrive in a new age career?
I see. Okay. So
For
for
So
that,
for you,
actually, this generation is lucky
mm-hmm,
because there are lots of resources available on the internet already. And there are also lots of like talks like this or um, even courses available online for free, or if you want to pay for it, you can also pay for a certification, no? Unlike before wherein you really had to enroll to a school to study something. So take advantage of that, no? You have everything on the internet, so just go study, read. Kahit if you even if you're not planning to change careers, even if you just want to improve your skills, additional skills lang, hard skill, then just go search and read and watch.
all right. Thank you so much, ma'am. And of course, ma'am, aside from being techie, and so what are the skills or traits that are essentials for success in this new generation or what we call computer age?
Aside from the hard skills or yung mga technical skills, no, do not lose your soft skills, no, because
Mhm.
even if you have the hard skills, even if you're very good at what you do, no, if you can't work with a team, if you're not good at communication, or even if you don't have a good attitude, no, so it's not enough to actually be successful. So, kailangan pa rin yung soft skills sa kahit anong workplace. No? Even if you're just working alone, no? Kasi even if you plan to be a content creator, no? Your personality shows eh. So, alam din ng tao or alam ng audience mo if you're just faking it or not. So, yeah, I would
Mhm.
suggest to not lose your soft skills or your personality.
All right. Thank you so much. So, next question is, and so, what are some of the most promising new occupations that are likely to become popular in the near future? So, as dun sa mga nabanggit niyo po. So, what do you think is the most, ayan, promising career?
Actually, right now, no, probably I haven't mentioned this, but I think AI is really booming, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, ang dami ng apps and websites and even job posts that require knowledge in AI and blockchain. So that's something that people might be our students might be interested in learning. So I'm not sure if it's being taught in school right now, but yeah, if you want to, you can just learn about it.
Very popular is one is Chat GPT.
True.
Ayan, yeah, so ayan, so you have to ask ko lang the AI then ano na ayan na boom, may answer na ayan. So um
Yeah.
Yes, tsaka parang lahat ngayon ma'am 'no, parang content creator, ayan, vloggers, influencers, kahit sa
Mhm.
Facebook lang yung mga ka-reels, ayan parang ang dami. So,
True.
isa yun sa mga, promising kasi, lalo na ngayon na mino-monetize na ni Facebook yung mga kahit konti lang yung followers mo basta marami yung viewers mo for your content, ayan. So, nakakatawa
Mm.
pero nakaka-amaze din. Ayan, so thank
You just
you.
need to make sure that it's sustainable, no? Kasi
Mm,
yung maybe you can start creating content pero kasi you're not sure
mm,
up to when, 'di ba? So if you really plan to make it your bread and butter, no, kailan
mm.
talagang prepared ka.
Alright. So, dapat hindi lang isa lang ang focus o dapat other than that
Can
meron pa?
be, oo. Mm.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, one last question is, what support and resources, since you've mentioned that earlier po, can you give po what support and resources are available for people who want to transition into a new age career?
There are actually online classes available, no. So
Mm,
I'm not sure if I can give examples, but I think you have Udemy, no, and then
mm.
there are also other websites such as Top Hat. So students can actually.
I think we just lost Miss Sam. Ayan. So, okay. So, we'll try to ask na lang Miss Sam. So, if ever na ma-restore yung kanya connection. But, let's now, ayun, we have Miss Sam na.
Connected.
Ayan.
Okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
going back, no, even on TikTok or on Facebook, there are also short form content that actually teaches technical skills. May mga parang influencers on TikTok that's actually discussing about these things. So, kahit gusto mo na medyo short form content lang, if yung ano mo, no, yung um, tawag ba dito, you can only spend a little bit of time every day. So, there's always a resource out there waiting for you.
Mm. Tsaka with the technologies today, so sobrang bilis lang ng information. So, ayan. So, just have
Mm-hmm.
to find the right ayan, resources. Ayan. So, thank you so much, Miss Sam, for answering all our questions. So, no more questions po
Thank
from the
you.
audience. And for me as well. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your time and your knowledge for today's session. And of course, we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much, Miss Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you. So again, if you're interested to apply at Kooapps, you may visit um at www.jobs180.com/Kooapps.ph. Okay. So ayan, so let's now proceed to our last topic for today. So which is importance of saving for the future. So our next presenter, Miss Hanna Mangampo, an associate quality engineer at the Asian Division Technology at MITDC. She began her journey as a QE intern and now excels in both UI, API, manual, and automation testing, making valuable contributions to the regional CWS team. Hannah is known for her attention to detail and thrifty nature, always finding cost-effective testing processes without compromising quality. So outside of work, she loves playing cozy video games. Wow. So the associate quality engineer in regional CWS project Manulife IT Delivery Center Asia, Miss Hannah Mangampo. Hi, Miss Hannah. Good morning.
Hi, Joyce. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hi,
I hope
ma'am.
my
Good morning.
audio is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear. So, ma'am, your screen is up. So, I leave it to it. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Hannah.
Thank you again, Joyce, and thank you everyone for joining today's event. We are glad to be in partnership with Jobs 180 and to be with you today to talk about the hows and whys of saving and how it is important and why we should save for the future. So, a brief background of my career in on growth in Metisi. So, like most of you, our audience today, I was also once part of the audience. So, I myself is a Lasallian and I recently graduated last year. So, I've been a part of a Manulife IT Delivery Center Asia, or as we call it, Metisi, for over a year now. So, today, I'll be sharing to you what it's like to be going straight into a job while making a living while waiting for your diploma or graduating and how I started getting into the habit of saving. So, first, before I dive deeper into the topic, let me just
do a quick run through and introduce MITTC to you. So, MITTC stands for Manulife Information Technology Delivery Center Asia. So, we were established back in 2018 as the fintech arm of Manulife to help achieve its ambitions of becoming a digital customer leader. So, when we launched back in 2018, our mandate was to develop and support and cater the needs of our Manulife businesses or Manulife's regional digital platforms for the life insurance businesses of our partners in Asia. So you've probably heard of Manulife Philippines, and usually I get this a lot whenever I get asked what company do I work for, and I answer MITTC or Manulife, and people would always get the impression of investments or policies or insurances, financial service. So you may have that question in your mind as well. But to answer the question, is it the same company? No, it is not. MITTC is a different entity from Manulife Philippines. So Manulife Philippines is the business entity that deals with the life insurance, financial services, and wealth asset management kind of businesses. So, if you want to purchase a life insurance policy, or after this talk you are or you want to invest your money in a trust fund, you go to Manulife Philippines. Okay, but with MITC, we have more than 600 employees right now. In Manila, our office is situated at Ayala Avenue, Makati, and our clients or partners are mostly in Asia. And recently, we've also expanded our services to cater the Manulife Canada division as well. So we include catering their services such as a Manulife wealth asset management line of businesses there. So in MITC, our capability encompasses the end-to-end solution delivery or IT delivery, which includes architecture, business analysis, software, quality and security engineering, and even project management. So brand and culture is almost synonymous for employees. Whenever we look for work, regardless of how companies market their brand, our common denominator would always be the culture and how the employees feel working for that company. So here in MITC, our culture is anchored in our values. So let me quickly share these values to you, which are the result of our what we call the voice of our employees back in 2018. So these are the values that resonated with our employees or with us employees. So first is obsess about customer. This just basically means that we need to keep our promises because our customers are the reason why we're here. And then the second one is do the right thing. So in our line of work, we deal with and handle a lot of confidential and sensitive information. So with that, in every single day that we do, or every single thing that we do, we strive to do the right thing, even if it's inconvenient or even if it's hard, just to make sure that our clients or customers are secured in handling their details to us. So third one is think big. So one word for this would be innovation. So we keep on innovating. So in MITC, we don't wait for something to break before we fix it. So if it's already working, we try to find a way to make it work faster instead with less resources. And for us, innovation also means that we provide an environment that allows us to have a reasonable amount of mistake while we try and continue to innovate. And then fourth would be the get it done together, which basically refers to teamwork, collaboration, because we believe in MTC that we accomplish more when we work and solve problems together. So aside from working together, we also value own it. We have the value own it, or what we usually think is the accountability, or we take action and create solutions. And then last, the value would be share your humanity. So everyone in BTC is treated as a unique person with their own set of qualities that would bring a big contribution to the company. So as a thriving workplace, from time to time, aside from fulfilling our responsibilities, our duties, we also try to be diverse and have some fun from time to time. So, to formally begin our discussion, let's have a sort of an icebreaker first for a minute or two. So, I have here a Mentimeter. So, you can access menti.com using this code 58988795 or scan the QR instead. And let's see your answers to the question, what are the three things you're saving your money for? You can type in three and up to three answers. So, go ahead and let me see. Keep those answers coming. Okay, you can put in whatever you're planning your money to spend for. So you can put in new house. Are you saving your money for a new cars? Okay, I see. Early retirement. Okay, that's a good point of view right there. I see saving for concert tickets. What more? New gadget, games, leisures. Yep. Oh, someone inputted wedding. Interesting, interesting. Insurance, a very important one. Oh, someone typed in twice concert. Quite a priority right there. Out of town after graduation. Yep, keep those answers coming in. Investment, condo, medicine, emergencies, home. So a lot of these things are very interesting, no, for young adults. Very fitting siya sa age natin today. So thank you for typing in your answers. It's good to know where we're heading because with these goals in mind, we're already eyeing the importance of where our money is going or why are we saving for future use. So just keep on typing in your answers and we'll quickly look into that later. So now, why is it important to save up? I've listed three things. First is that for financial stability and freedom. Second, we worry less and live better. Then to achieve the ability to achieve goals and dreams. So why these three things? First off, when we have enough saved money, we become stable and we become prepared. So we have some sort of a safety net or a cushion for when unexpected events happen. So earlier, di ba na-mention ni Miss Sam na for us in the age of young adults, very encouraged yung jumping into different careers or changing of jobs. So for situations like those, it's important now we have a buffer money or a saved money just in case we have a gap in our career. So for when those events happen, we have a money or money allocation to spend on our needs. So once we have money set aside, it offers us this feeling of security and flexibility. So when you have the money, the only stress that you're going to encounter most likely is a good stress. So you'll only be thinking where and how much money should I spend. So while of course still leaving a buffer. So lastly, saving early sets the stage for turning your dreams into reality. So the things that you listed earlier, those who mentioned concert tickets, travel, condo, what more? I've seen wedding even. So those dreams or plans of yours will very much likely be achievable if your foundations are laid well as early as now. So saving early allows us to navigate those planned scenarios or planned events in our life as well as the expected ones and enjoy the fulfilling future that we are eyeing. So, okay, we get it. Save money, be happy, achieve goals. But how? Where do I begin? Again, let's take this discussion with a grain of salt. Okay, so understand na not all has the privilege and opportunities of good income or a stable flow of money presented to them. But the point is, regardless of the amount of money that you have right now, our talk will try to make it work and let's try to start somewhere to make it grow or to let it grow. So first off, how? By tracking your expenses. Our keyword would be budget. So once your money comes in, you have to know where your money is going. So I've read somewhere that tracking your expenses is a crucial step in financial management. So just like any other matters that needs to be tracked, you'll get to analyze and understand your habits and your patterns when it comes to handling your money. When you track your money, you have to know where it is going, and from there you gain insight on what's your habit, what are the patterns present, and how can you handle your money even better. So a simple reminder for this one would be the 3S. So save, spend, and share. So the idea is that you understand why you should save. So how you spend your money and understand the value of money that you have and how it can affect or help other people, not just yourself. So for us in our age, 3S can refer to learning investment accounts and types, structuring a detailed budget, or doing more analysis or formal planning to determine where the most or what part where it makes the most sense and how can we prioritize our savings even more. So, how can we track our money effectively? First is again by creating a budget. So, make sure when you have money coming into you, you allocate your income to different categories. So, these categories can vary from one person to another. So, but in general, it can be categorized into housing, utilities, groceries, savings, wants. Those the things that those are the things that you need, that you want, and you're planning to save up for. So you have to figure out what budgeting techniques would work best for you. So for example, there is the 50-30-20 rule where you allocate 50% of your income to your needs, the 30 to your wants, and the 20% to your savings. So personally, back when I started earning money or getting money from the financial aids or scholarship programs back in college, the way I allocated the money is that 50% goes into my savings directly, and then the 30% goes to my needs or my contribution in our home, and then the rest of the 20% would fall into my wants. So very, very little percent, the least percentage would be allotted for my wants, just to make sure that after graduation, I still have enough money for me to spend and not to rely on my parents anymore, or have that buffer money for me for when I look for work or want to spend something for myself, like the one who mentioned travel after graduation, so that I had money for that one. But it's up to you. It's up to you on what a percentage or what budget allocation would work best, as long as you make sure na you're setting the limits and guidelines for your spending. So with a perfect or with an accurate budget allocation, you're confident that you're living within your means, and you're prioritizing your savings. So for those who already has a good flow of income, just make sure na when you have the budget allocation already, you're not falling into what they call lifestyle inflation. Or when you start getting more money, you start saving more. So that shouldn't be the case. So from time to time, monitor or track your budgeting and your spending, so that you will not fall into lifestyle inflation, and to make sure that you're still living within your means when just as when you started. Okay, so saving, a lot of saving words lately. So now let's take a quick look instead on what's synonymous to our favorite phrase, deserve ko to, or I deserve this, for whenever we buy something. So spending. What is spending? Specifically, intentional spending. So we at a young age should be spenders with a purpose. So everything you buy or you use your money into should have a valuable meaning to you, rather than just doing it or spending it impulsively. So now, Hannah, how do I know if something is truly valuable? How do I know or justify if I truly deserve this something? So first off, make sure to differentiate your wants and your needs, because often than not, we may see something that we think we need, but in the end, we don't actually need it, and in fact, it really isn't important to us, and just andun na lang siya sa isang tabi. So, for us to differentiate what are our wants and needs, key needs would be those that fall into rent, utilities, groceries, and then wants would be those discretionary expenses that we always or most likely do in our daily lives, like eating, your random cravings, very common siya sa age natin. And those subscription, in-app purchases, um, streaming platform subscriptions, and shopping. For instance, very common yung budol culture today. So try to lessen those, like yung in-app purchases as well. Other examples of shopping would be games, gacha, skins in online games. So a lot of consuming is happening in our age right now. So be wary of those and try to um, really determine if you really need something, or make a justification if you truly deserve something. or deserve that one thing. So last would be the latte factor. So with the term itself, latte, coffee latte, or cafe latte rather. So those small expenses like coffee, snacks, or other impulse purchases can add up over time without you noticing it. So with the economy that we have right now, how much is one cup of coffee? So during our office days, I'm very guilty of this. Before, um, I realized whenever I go out and then buy a cup of coffee, I spend quite a percentage of my daily wage already. So slowly, I learned to cut back and do other alternatives instead. So in this case, we should try to lessen those small daily expenses, especially if there are better options or there are already lighter alternatives that would make you save money and is effective at the same time in saving in the long run. Okay, now let's go back to the things that you've listed earlier in our Mentimeter. So I've seen bigger words such as business, travel, house, investment, insurance, gala, gadgets, emergency fund, a good input right there, medical emergency, pet supplies, health purposes. So these things, this variation of your goals, some of these goals fall into what we call short term. And most part, those bigger words that I've seen are part of long-term goals. So those short-term goals are like saving up for those vacation, for the gala, and those things that would make you feel excited, or it's something that is exciting that makes you look forward to. So it's like having a personal challenge where you get the reward as soon as you as soon as you finish saving up for that event. So plus when you reach those short-term goals, you feel a sense of accomplishment. So finally you're able to save up for that particular vacation. Once you're in that vacation, you get this sense of accomplishment that boosts your confidence and motivates you even more to keep on savings. So other examples of short-term goals would be the emergency fund. So this refers to the cash for unplanned expenses or financial emergencies. So usually, once you start getting money or getting a source of income, you start to save up for the emergency fund, and it usually is around at least 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. And for this one, you're sure once you've saved up enough money for this emergency fund, you're sure that whatever happens, whatever unplanned or emergency events happen, you have the money, you are secured, and you have the safety net to spend or use your money for. And then next example would be the sinking fund. So these are the cash or the money saved up for your future ventures or dedicated to your specific expense that you are expecting. So these falls, so your travels, your gala, your concert tickets, those personal goals that you've mentioned earlier, some of them are part of what we consider sinking funds too. So for long term, those are the bigger dreams naman. So if we will look at it right now, those dreams, they may seem very far off, but totally within your reach if you start saving. So for instance, someone mentioned buying a home, condo, or business. And then may isa pa kanina na early retirement. So that's part of the long-term goals. So by saving early, you give yourself a head start, and time, you let your money grow, work over time, and let the time work its magic. So you see, the sooner you start saving, the more time you give your money to grow. So the more time na these goals will come into reality. Okay, so now, how will your future self thank you for achieving those goals? You have to start deciding or setting up your priorities now. So you have to take the first step today. Or if you're already on it, keep it going. Because starting to save early, you let what we call compound interest work. So imagine you put some money in an investment, and over time it earns you interest. But ito yung twist. The interest doesn't just sit there. It gets added to your original investment. So now you're earning interest on your initial investment plus interest you've already earned. So it's like a snowball effect na as it rolls down, it gets bigger and bigger, and as it goes, and the longer you let it roll, the more time you give it to grow, it grows with the power of compound interest. So, by getting that specific head start as early as now, you give your money more time to grow. And then you give the power of compound interest to work its way, to work its magic with your money. So, Hannah, how can I maximize my resources for this? How can I use or how can I maximize this compound interest? So for starters, going back to budgeting, using tools like Excel or Google Sheets do wonders for digits and analysis. Very common tool to use for when it comes to reporting. But you don't, with budgeting, you don't really need a detailed app for it, for tracking or budgeting. But if you're someone who's the type of person who prefers an interactive approach, the ones with cute or very user-friendly UI, you do you. There are a lot of tools or apps available online that can satisfy your budget or tracking needs. Just make sure that you have the right tools and you have something that would work according to your budgeting needs. So, all right, noted. Where should I put my money then? So, for the interest that I've mentioned, start looking for savings accounts that offer competitive interest rate. So in this way, you make sure that you maximize your savings growth. So I suggest looking into digital banks. There are a lot of options available right now. So try to look first into digital banks and what they offer, like the percentage of interest that they offer. Then right after, look for those traditional banks that we have right now. Or if you already have accounts in those, maximize the features. And if you have accounts in traditional banks, try to reach out to the bank and ask, how can my money grow? What can you offer to me to have or to make my money bigger, to make my money grow over time? So aside from banks, you're interested in other investment options. So how can I invest my money aside from putting it into a bank? So widen your investment options for long-term growth. How? You consider investing in assets such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or invest it in a business. I have batchmates who already started putting up their small businesses, you know, so those, depending on your risk tolerance and financial goals, if you have enough money saved up for investment, um, try to consider different options just to make sure you diversify your options across different asset classes. So make sure you understand your risk tolerance and financial goals. Just um, with diversification and risk management, you make sure you're not using your money allocated for emergency fund and then putting it to invest into something. No, you have to make sure you have separate money for your savings, for your funds, and for your investments alone. So make sure you understand your risk, your risk tolerance, and your financial goals. So there are investments out there that offer higher potential returns, but you also have to make sure that some of them come with more risk, but and vice versa. Lesser or smaller potential returns, but lesser risks. So you do your homework, you research, you read more financial books, and if you really want um, to have a professional help, you talk to a financial advisor if you need to, so that you're sure and you're secure that the money that you have is invested in the right options and that you are aligned with your goals and the comfort level that you're willing to have with your money being invested. Okay. So recap time. So again, saving early provides stability and freedom, giving you the flexibility to navigate one's uncertainties. So once you're able to navigate these uncertainties or planned events in your life, you make sure that you alleviate financial stress and worry. So you have this sort of cushion. So this cushion sets you or puts you at ease as you go on achieving your dreams and realizing your long-term aspirations. And then lastly, our key takeaways on how to start saving. First off, start tracking your expenses to gain insight into your spending habits. Spend intentionally, set both short term and long term saving goals to keep you motivated, and then decide your priorities. If you already started, keep it going. So take advantage of different offerings, interest, investments, and just be sure that you have the right tools with you to grow your savings effectively. And lastly, with all the saving, with all the budgeting, make sure to reward yourself too. So just be mindful of your spending and then enjoy the occasional treat from time to time as you watch your savings grow. So once again, I am Hanna Mangampo. So if you're in LinkedIn, feel free to be my connection and follow us. In LinkedIn, it's Manulife IT Delivery Center Asia. And if you want and you are interested in becoming a part of our company, visit our Jobs 180 link for more information and click apply. So it's www.jobs180.com/mitdc. And if you have additional questions, feel free to email us via manulifemidtcphlhiring@manulife.com. Thank you once again and good morning. Let's hear it from you guys.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna. So we are now again opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, so kindly post your questions in the comment section. So I'll be asking na po muna Miss Hannah. So our first
Yep.
question is, how can technology, with the technology around po, how can technology help save money more efficiently? Yeah.
With technology, very rampant yung different apps that are available to us right now. So there are budgeting apps available that we can use. And as I've mentioned earlier, if uh, you don't want to install or have a separate app for budgeting, simple apps or softwares can be used. So we have Excel, Google Sheets. Those are very effective ways of tracking and monitoring your expenses, your budgets. So just make sure you have the right tools and you use technology wisely. So yon. Even with in terms of learning savings, you can use technology. Very uh, few resources online that you can use for when you want to learn more or delve deeper in terms of financial management and budgeting or monitoring your expenses.
Alright, kasi with the technology ma'am, 'di ba, we have online mobile apps na po ano. So
Hmm.
we have mobile bankings, ayan. So we can easily view yung pera, ayan ngayon. So do you think po mas namo-motivate or mas aware ba tayo sa expenses and sa savings kapag nakikita natin siya?
Personally, I myself is very more motivated when it comes to seeing the digits on online
Mhm.
banking accounts. Kasi when you see the digits grow, it gives you this sort of accomplishment na you're able to move from a certain amount and have it grow over time. So very very nice to have those monitoring systems that where you get to see your aside from your transactions, you also get to see the interests gained from the account, and you also see the money grow itself.
All right. Thank you so much for answering that one, Miss Hannah. One last question since we are time bound. So apologies for as much as we want to ask questions pa. Ayan. So the question, ma'am, is how can a savings mindset help us build wealth over time?
So with a mindset that is built into savings, very important siya, especially as early as now when your mindset is put into saving money, you get to feel the security that you're getting as soon as possible. So
Mm.
with the right mindset that you know your where your money is going and you're tracking it effectively, you get to feel the security and flexibility that it can give along the way.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Hannah. Thank you, ma'am. So, again, guys, if you're interested, you may submit or you may visit www.jobs180.com/mitdc. Ayan. So, thank you so much, Miss Hannah, for sharing your
Thank
time
you.
and your expertise. Again, apologies for as much as we want. We are time bound. Ayan. So, ayan naman. But we are hoping to have you on our next set of webinars, Miss Hannah. Ayan. So, hoping na makabalik ka po. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss
Thank you.
Hannah.
Thank you.
All right. So there you have it, guys. We are done with talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. So again, to our audience, thank you so much for staying, and we hope you learned and enjoy the session. And if you have questions, you may send us a message on our Facebook Messenger or Facebook page, facebook.com/jobs180.com. Okay, so to officially close our program, may we ask Miss Marian G. Planas, Director of Alumni Relations and Placement Office, for the closing remarks.
Hi, thank you so much. Graduating students, you've been very quiet. I'm checking out whether you're giving some questions out there. But yeah, so maybe for the last time, while I'm doing the closing remark, maybe you can at least give us an idea. What are your takeaways during the entire event, entire webinar? And to give an idea, selecting these topics, being your mom in ARPO, Alumni Relation and Placement Office, I want to make sure you're okay to go. So, as much as we want you guys to stay here, you have to graduate. And we need to make you the whole package. As in, we know that academically we did our part, and now is the final touches. So, parang ano lang, dapat kayo yung whole package. No? So, this is it. I find the first topic by Sir Kim. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. Is your gateway. Okay, so you have to set your best foot forward, and that's by your resume and how you should go about your interviews. So, Sir Kim, perfectly, give you all the tips you need to do, and then working hybrid, sort of, give you the context today. So we're post pandemic period. So there we go. These are the things that we need to live with. Is it good or bad? So kayo na mag-weigh niyan, and you guys are what? The effect of remote teaching, more or less, I'm very sure you've adjusted to this. And thank God it's hybrid. We still need to see each other. And that's the fun part. No? We are so much into face-to-face right now because ayaw na natin mag-remote na. So, there we go. And Ma'am Jennifer, thank you also. So Sherwin, by the way, thank you so much for that beautiful talk from ADP. And Ma'am Jennifer Cornelio from Metro Pacific Tollway, which I also met some time ago. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas about leadership. And I know you, Lasalians, know this particularly so well. You know that our father founder, St. John Baptist de Salle, you know that I'm a re-ed teacher, so I know this. No? We know that our father founder is a servant leader. Servant leader. Okay? Ako, some of my unforgettable quote remembered from somewhere, not just from St. Lasal, is that you see a need, feel it. No? Kung sa tingin mo kailangan siya sa trabaho, it will help, then go for it. Okay? So, and I think that too was discussed a little bit by, mentioned din siya kaganina eh. By Miss Sam, Ma'am Sam Pagaduan. Thank you so much, Kooapps. Alam ko lang ng L yung company nyo, Kooapps, no? So, um, yeah, I hope the soft and hard skills are with you. The soft skills are our Lasallian values, your character, your personality. Sana dumikit na yan sa balat ninyo. And that the academic, the training that you've had with the courses you have, those are the hard skills that you'd be carrying with you. So, my dear graduating students, as we conclude this career talk, I hope I hope that what? Somehow you're armed not just with knowledge and skills and Lasallian values. I hope through this workshop, this online webinar, your pre-employment career talk prepared you. Sana you listen very well, no, to embark you on a new chapter in your lives as you step into the workplace and venture into the world of opportunities. I didn't have this when I was graduating. Kaya you guys are so blessed. Okay, and Recently in Inquirer, I read an article that why are the three top universities top? It's because of the pre-employment activities that they're giving no, to their graduating students. So, ayan, no, precisely because of these pre-employment activities that they provide, that's why we're all here. You guys are all here. We make sure you get that same privilege. So, what else do I need to tell you? Um, your skills, your resilient values will help you sustain the job and perhaps no climb the ladder of opportunities in the workplace. As a final thought, some of you know that I'm heavily Lasallian, pretty much like Sir Kim, like who else? Hanna, and meron pa isa. No, tatlo tayo dito. So, um, I lost it. So, yeah. Um, your incredible journey as a Lasallian is about to continue. It's not ending, guys. You carry your mission, vision with you. Hopefully, it shaped you a lot already. Hopefully, in Tagalog, dumikit na sana sa balat ninyo ang pagiging lasala ninyo. Look at Sir Kim. Successfully, he's running jobs180.com. It is not just his bread and butter. He is helping a whole lot, including you guys. So, let the spirit of excellence drive you, gear you towards service, in the form of your profession. It is my deepest hope you find your vocation, not just a profession, something that you would say, this is my calling, this is my yes to God. Pretty much like St. John Baptist de La Salle was prepared for his calling. It's not going to be your first job, second job, mailang job pa yan, till you gain that experience until one day, it unfolds just like St. La Salle. He cannot say no to Adrianiel because he knows that's where God is calling him. All his experiences, his gifts, his skills were well used by God in running the schools that led him to the success of the schools. And he left a legacy that we are all enjoying. So hope your faith as Lasallians guides you as you now work and your work turns to service. Embody the truth and social responsibility. Okay? When you integrate this in your work, that's called integrity. And communion in mission definitely was mentioned all throughout the talk. Collaborate, be a team player, again, towards positive advocacies. Your ties with us never ends. We will support you all the way. Your other Lasallians, look for them in the workplace so that you can lean on each other and together do remarkable things in your workplaces. I'm very sure hearing all these talks, I'm confident you guys with all you can create profound impact. So congratulations and thank you for being here. Go forth and make a Lasallian difference. And jobs180.com, your team, thank you so much. Also to our VP Leia. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Meg. Thank you, ma'am, for choosing Jobs 180 again to power your events. Again, so see you po on
Joyce, thank you.
July 7 and July 21. Ayan, and of course, I think the students were a bit shy lang po, but they are listening. They were participative and attentive naman po during the Q&A with Miss Hannah. So thank you so much, Miss Marian. Thank you, Miss Meg. All right. So again, to secure your attendance, do not forget to evaluate this event. So to get your digital certificates. And so again, this is from Miss Meg. So kindly fill out the evaluation form, the eval form for you to get the digital certificates, the certificates, ayan po, for this session. And so the link is flashed on your screen and it's also available at the comment section. Okay, so again, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying throughout the event, and we hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. And maraming salamat po. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for, and please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed, and you are welcome again to join in on those sessions too. And if you think you missed this webinar, you may rewatch the recorded videos on our Facebook and YouTube page. Again, so kindly search lang po title Marketing Me Live with De La Salle Dasma. Ayan. So the program is finally concluded. This is your host Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat everyone. Thank you.
Hail, hail, alma mater, hail to De La Salle. high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail, hail, alma mater, hail to DLSUD. We'll hold your banner high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, hail, hail.
They come from all over, the cures and the tools, the medicines and the machines, perfected, collected, and sent with all speed to the caretakers and the cared for, spanning miles, delivering hope. This is their flight, and we are their wings. They give of themselves, their minds, their hearts, their hands, their time and talent, armed with experience, humble with strength, dressing wounds and changing sheets and calming nerves and keeping watch. These are the angels, and we are their wings. They trade in tomorrows. Their gift is more time. They sacrifice years in exchange for more days, trade long nights of study for split-second grace. They bind and stitch and push and discover, leading the way out of pain. These are the pilots, and we are their wings. They engineer miracles, amplify care, manage the treatments and maintain supply. They stave off the outbreak with counsel and cure, bridge gaps between hospital, home, and health. This is their promise, and we are its wings. They trust in the system, the breakthroughs, the work. They put their heart and faith in our hands, all in the quest for better care, all in the hope for health. That is their prayer, and we are its wings.